And hello, everyone. Welcome back to I Am Shatoria. This is episode 3. So we are 3 episodes in, and I am excited. Today, this is the place where we talk about everything from love, hope, families, relationship, and y'all know me. I'll talk a whole lot of faith. But today is our inspiration moment. So we do inspiration sets, as I said before. And I'm shy, but then I'm not. But then today I'm really nervous because I have someone here that I get really, really excited about, just to see her on Facebook, to see her on IG, just to see her growth. And when I say nervous, I'm nervous. I already told her, so she's already tracking. But I'm really, really geek, like really, really geek. And I know that's the word I use all the time, but that's just the word that it is. But I am here to interview the beautiful, the loving, and you all know her with that beautiful voice as she talks about at the fridge again. Miss Katie French of the my home GA. How are you, honey?
We are all good. How are you? Yes, ma'am.
Good. Like I'm loving your energy. Like you already got me right. So
Well, I praise God. I'm living life, and I appreciate the fact that no matter what we go through, I'm still glad I got joy in spite of all. Yes, ma'am.
yes, girl, you gonna have me like listening to this podcast like a whole bunch of times, just which is the plan. Like I plan on going back to this one because one, I love your energy because one, you have this same energy no matter where you
Mm.
at. But you've had this same energy for a while. So this ain't nothing new. So for everybody who
Right.
don't know, so we went to school together in
Yes,
Little Rock,
ma'am.
Greensboro, Georgia. And I gotta say, we got a lot of great things coming out of Greensboro. Um,
Yes.
KD's definitely being one of them. The voice, she's always had this voice, but she's always had this personality and energy. So, to see you before Kobe even happened, you was already doing like little segments, and I
Right.
look
Exactly.
forward to it. I was like, oh, she about to do it today. Well, she's giving me some inspiration to go to work because I'm trying to be real good today.
Yes.
And so when you did the fridge, I won't even lie. I thought it was the funniest thing ever because my daughter was like, I am hungry. No, we're not at this fridge again. Get out of my
Yes.
refrigerator. So we would use that as a thing, but it's hilarious and it is just taking off. Everybody
Yes.
loves
It has.
it and people be sharing it with me, and I'm like, I'm ahead of you already. I It's cool. They was like, oh my God, she's awesome. I'm like, she is. But
Praise
today I
God.
just want everybody to get to know, the person behind the voice, the person behind the bubbly personality. Because
Yeah.
we see what we see on Facebook. We see you singing, we see you
Right.
out there giving your all from Christ. And I love when you post in the morning, especially like when you're in the woods and you just loving life.
Mm.
We see
Yeah.
that, but I want people to get to know who you are. Like this is who
Yes.
I am, and it ain't just about the words that's coming out of my mouth.
Right.
This is really me. So let's start off with who is KD?
Well, I am, first of all, I love to tell people I am a child of God, definitely, firsthand. And I'm a wife, a mama. I laugh often. I act silly. I'm just always trying to find a reason to smile, to give hope. That's just me in a nutshell. I can't really explain it. I have my good days, I have my bad days, but since my good days outweigh the bad, I share all my good. So I'm just grateful for who I am in Him first. So that's it.
Absolutely. Like I love how you just like, no, this is who I am. This is who you're meeting,
Right.
and that is a blessing because one, a lot of people we forget to acknowledge the one and only. Um,
Oh yeah.
we forget to acknowledge when we're growing up in success, when we're growing up getting in certain places. A lot of us forget to be
Mm.
humble. Um,
Yeah.
and I love the fact that we're from a small town, and
Right.
you know they'll say, "Oh, nothing's coming from out of there," but that's not a true fact. We have a lot of
Mm.
awesome things coming out where we're at
Yes.
the time. A lot of us we know Christ is first.
Of course.
You
You
know,
know how you know the saying, first giving honor to God who's the head of my life. You know that line. That's the but no, seriously,
Future
God
with
is
our
the
heart
reason why
will
I'm here.
floor.
So yeah.
Yeah, with our heart will floor churches.
Yes.
I still laugh about it because oh my God, yeah, I went this. I was at historic Springfield Baptist Church with that hardwood floor, and I remember my grandfather being a deacon on that front row at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Wait a minute. Didn't you sing the song Anyway You Bless Me, Lord?
Girl,
Ah,
let me tell you, you and Shantika, and y'all but it was a blessing because you hit me up with that, and then Shantika hit me up maybe a year later with the I Am God, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, let me find these songs, and so my voice has just been my voice, and I'm like, God, how do you
I
want?
remember, girl, when the choirs used to come visit the churches, I remember you leading that song hard. Yes, you better lead it.
Oh my God, I laughed because somebody hit me up and was like, I remember when you was at Antioch Baptist Church and you used to sing in the choir. I was like, I remember that. And we used
Yes.
to march in, especially when it was your anniversary, your church anniversary, and
Just
you used to march
proud.
into the church. That's that Southern love right there. Those good days. You don't see that no more, really, honestly.
No, you really
And I
don't. A
haven't
lot of
seen it in a
places you
while.
don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just gave me some good memories on that, girl.
That's it. I remember.
Oh God, and that's a blessing too. That you remember that because honestly, I forgot
Yes.
about that one. I do
Mm,
remember the youth explosion of 1997 or 98, where we sung a whole bunch of songs. I know we did,
right.
but Shantika hit me up and was like, "Didn't you sing? Um, you are." I was like, "Oh, you remember that?" And I literally had to go find it. And I kid you not, I started reminiscing because I remember, as we were all kids, even though we was in high school.
Yes.
I'll say we were kids, and we went through
But
a lot.
that's an awesome memory. Yeah.
Those were some good times, but at the same time,
Yes.
a lot of us had different struggles.
Of
Um,
course.
so that song definitely means something different to me now
Mm-hmm.
when I hear it. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I thank you guys for the memories of that because I honestly forgot. I forgot what I did, and so oh my God, that's good memory. Now outside of God, because I already know you don't fake no funk with it anyway. But who is your influence? Who influenced you just to be KD and to be this
Girl.
you are?
Well, it's still within the family. I come from a singing family. My mom, she has been playing the piano since she was 10 years old for different churches. My grandmother used to drive her around. I think it was three different churches at the time. But yeah, I was like, Mom, I would have loved to see. I wanted to see that. Like 10 years old, you playing for churches already.
Mm,
But definitely my mom, because she raised me and my brother to first off love God. And of course, being a child, you just do what mama tell you to do. But
sure.
now having that relationship myself, I thank God for my mom. So of course, it's firsthand is my mom, because I used to sit right there on that piano bench with her while she was singing and praising the Lord. So that would be my biggest influence because of all of the songs and the churches and the different choirs she had to teach. That was basically where it
Hey,
all came from. That's it.
man, and that's what I'm talking about because us growing up, we didn't see things as starting it young and still prolonging with it as adults.
Right.
And I think a lot of us, we have so many gifts and talents that wasn't, put into play when we was young. We just went to
Mm,
school, played outside. We didn't have internet,
mhm.
then, so we didn't have nothing. We didn't have no. We had Facebook,
Right.
and
But
so
my mama said, "You gonna get in this choir." So she put me in the youth choir. I was scared. I was in the
girl,
youth choir. I was scared to death to sing, especially when she wanted me to lead a song, because I didn't lead my first song without crying until I was 10. So yeah, I would always start crying to where she would have to take over the song.
oh, you
Cause
like
yeah, I was in the
let me
choir
catch
like
these
I was 5.
kids, and then she gonna come
Right.
in with it.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
I never forget Miss
Mhm.
Pearl Wright. Rest her soul. Miss Pearl was the one over the Antioch Baptist Church, and
Yes.
my girl
Yes.
sounds just like your mama. And you guys gonna do the choir. You're gonna be part of the church programs. Y'all gonna do all
right.
of this. And you were like, wait, we at
Just
church.
put you up there.
Hey.
Yeah.
So yeah, those just great memories. And yeah, like you said, our thing was, we had church back then though. Um,
Yes,
that's
those were
I
the
mean,
days, and that's why when I sing, I'm trying to reach back to songs that I remember when I was a child, because like there's a better understanding and a better sense of gratitude for those songs today. Not knocking all of the newer songs, but
Correct.
that's just where it all started. And what I remember, singing a lot of the oldie but goodies.
No, I absolutely agree. It's funny because
Mm,
I still reach back sometimes and I listen to, I Am God. But one
yeah.
of my favorites is two actually. You got Fear Not, which is definitely one that I so
Mm,
remember singing back with my mom. But the one that got me is Blessings. And it's crazy because the rapper Wale, he used it not too long ago in
mm.
one of his songs, and my husband was playing. I was like, I know that song. Wait a minute, I know that song.
Right. Gotcha.
I'm blessed by Mississippi Children's Choir, and I so remember. I was like, wait, I know that song. Hold on, we used to sing that song back in the day. So
Right.
I agree. It's those songs have a different meaning now. Like I'm like you, I'm not knocking what's out now. Like I love
Right.
Lee, I love her,
Right.
like that old school, that real cry, you got that
That's something that stir up the soul for
yeah,
real. Yes.
because it was
And that's where a lot of the new gospel artists they get different parts from back in the old. That's why we can still just love it. And plus it's just acknowledging the fact that it's all about God.
absolutely. And with that, the question I have for you is, they have what pushes them, but what's pushing KD? What pushes you on the daily? You know,
Oh, that's a given. That's my family.
absolutely.
I have aspirations, I have goals, and I also try to stay motivated. And what keeps me grounded and motivated is my family. I, when I was working a 9 to 5 with someone, or I, I, we're home more now so than ever. But when I was working at 9 to 5, all that was on my mind those 8 hours was my family, because we sitting here thinking what we're gonna cook for dinner, what we're gonna do. We always are thinking about our family. When you really have a heart for family, that's all you think about. That's all that's on your mind. What's best for my family, not just me. I can't be selfish anymore. It's not just about me. I have three other beautiful people in my life that mean the world to me. So yeah, that gives me that push, of course, of course.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And family is definitely where it's at. Um,
Oh yeah.
and we a lot of people are striving to have those things. Um,
Right.
so with this, I call it a profound voice because to me it is. Um, I feel like it is. But with this profound voice
Thank you.
you have, which you've always had it. But with this profound, what is it taking as when you hear people, when you see and hear people talk about you, they sharing everything, like your followers have completely grown between Facebook and
Mhm.
IG. Um,
Yes.
what do you take from that?
You know what? I feel like this. I don't look at it as if I'm becoming someone famous, or I don't look at it as if I look at it as me being able to show the world, and I can get full talking about it, how I magnify God, because I'm grateful for all that He has brought me through.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't really, it's mind blowing. I'm like, who am I?
Mm,
But it's not about me. It's not about me. It's all about God. And I feel like it's just showing people that I magnify Him and I thank Him for everything. Because let me tell you, I don't get a chance to look at all the comments and stuff because I've been busy, or it's just a lot of comments, and it can be overwhelming at times. But there was a time where I was scrolling through comments, and I saw a comment. It said, I I found you because of the fridge song, but I'm staying because you love Jesus.
mm,
And so that to me, that's more than enough right there. I don't care how you look at it. As me on the outside looking in, you can say, "Oh yeah, things are growing," but I'm looking at it as another opportunity just for me to continue to proclaim how I magnify and glorify His name, exalt Him, because He's the one that I'm giving all the praise and honor to, because nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. And I mean, I'm grateful for all of the opportunities, no doubt. But even in every opportunity, I still find a way, making sure that I magnify and thank God. That's it. That's it right there.
Like you just whole bless my soul, and I say that because your humbleness is so it's so big. It is your humbleness is peaceful. Um, I love the fact that I can say from the time and the years I have known you that you have not changed, and it's a blessing to see the growth and see how God is blessing you, and you still remain humble. And so for me, I definitely say thank you for that humbleness because a lot of people miss it, and
Yeah.
I am so glad that you have it because I I look forward to your messages. I can say that I do. I look forward to your messages. I look forward to talking about you. Here's the reason why I was saying, I looked so forward to having this sit down with you because your humbleness and your realness with it. You're real,
Mm,
you're humble, you're not for show. And that is definitely
yeah.
a blessing within itself. And in a world full of temptation of money and power, you
Yeah.
still remain me and Jesus got this. This is where Jesus
Right.
put me at. I didn't do this for the heck of it. No, Jesus put me here. So I personally
Right.
want to tell you thank you for operating in your humbleness and your faith. Um, so that definitely means a lot to me. And with faith, what is what has played the biggest factor in your faith? How do because I'm a faith person. I am a huge faith
Yeah.
person.
Yes.
What was it for you? Because a lot of people are still trying to figure out faith.
Yeah. There are days where I still, of course, I'm human and I have days where I'm afraid, but like my t-shirts. I put on a t-shirt or I put on an affirmation or I put on a word that keeps me, centered. It keeps my mind focused. If I'm going to wear this, I'm going to go out and proclaim this. If sometimes you just have to press through the fear.
Yes.
Even if you feel like you have your days of doubt, you have your days where you are lower than lower, where you feel like you're lower than low. But one thing I've learned is that when I'm heavy or when I'm low or when I feel afraid, that's the best. Now I praise God every day. I'm singing all the time. Of course, I'm singing around the house, in the kitchen, in the shower, wherever. But the days where I'm feeling like really down,
Hmm.
those are some of the best praise moments or opportunities I have. And when you don't feel like, because I know sometimes when you're in the middle of a storm or
Hmm.
when you're in the middle of uncertainty, when you're in the midst of something that just don't feel right, it's the hardest for you to give God praise or to pray for yourself or to come through it. But I feel like this. I've learned, yes, it was hard for me, but the more I did it when I was down, the more I called upon him, the more I prayed through the pain, or the more I prayed through my fear, it really does something to my spirit, man. It helps me and I feel lighter, I feel stronger, and that peace you were talking about, because I try to stay sane in this time that we're in. I try to stay, centered. And I really, really, truly believe in Isaiah 26:3. You keep your mind stayed on him, he'll keep you in perfect peace. And so I'm really, really, really trying to stay there. So when I do it, you never know how I may be feeling the night before. You may not know that I cried last night or I'm just got finished crying and going through this, but those feelings, the mind is a battlefield. So you have to learn how to control it. You have authority, you have a dominion, you have that over all of the things that you may be going through. And it seems easier said than done, but the more you do it, I guarantee, people are like, how you doing it? How you smiling going in this place? And how you do, the more you practice it, it becomes repetition. Then it becomes a part of your life.
Right.
And I can, like you were telling me in the beginning, and I tell people all the time, people I see from high school or people I see from school, they tell me some of the same things. You have never changed. And, it's just like that has grown stronger and staying consistent with who I am. Of course, you see this over there, you see this over there. You may want to be at a different place in your life, but baby steps move you forward.
Mm.
Baby steps also move you forward. It helps you to grow stronger. So the more you do it, the more you proclaim something, the more you speak it. speaking things that are not as though they were, the more you practice it, I guarantee you, seriously, because I can only thank God for even this, my strength in going through everything. So I'm just grateful that I just know how when I don't feel like it, I still gotta pray. When I don't feel like it, I still gotta praise. I can't just do it when I'm happy. I have to do it. I have to take the good just like I take the bad. I have to take the bad just like I take the good.
No,
So yeah.
I love that because faith is I learned the realness about faith back in 2003, and I've been on faith ever since. I'm a friend of mine said I have a stubborn faith, um, but I refuse to. You tell me I can't. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, all right, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Right.
You know,
Right.
that's the type of person I am now. I can say I wasn't that individual in school. And when people say, oh, you smiled a lot in school, and then I still smile a lot now, for me,
Mm.
I know subconsciously those are two different smiles.
Right. Gotcha.
Totally two different smiles. So I love how you say, how we see you and say, oh, you ain't changed, but you know that you've grown so much
Hmm.
and you've grown in the word, you've grown in your faith because faith is not easy. And like you
Mm-mm.
said, not in this time right now is not easy for a lot of people who are definitely hitting walls right now.
Oh yeah.
2020 has been something. And with that 2020, what have you learned this year? What has been what are some of the things you've learned here in 2020 with everything going on,
Mm.
being in faith? What is it that you have learned about you and what you're doing?
I've learned that, well, first of all, I'm definitely closer, having that time to really sit down and try to write and try to do this and go over scriptures like I do, try to do it consistently with my girls and teaching them. But it's definitely brought me closer to him, even though, like, when we before the hustle and bustle of life and trying to wait on a paycheck on and working for somebody else's vision, doing the best that I can, loving the people I was working for. But this year has really shown me that God can still work through what we see in the natural, as if like nothing can happen. Because let me tell you, I chose to, me and my husband, we sat down and we was just like, okay, the girls we're keeping the girls at home for the virtual learning.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm choosing to sacrifice my income so that I can be here with them, because I mean that's when we were in the beginning of it, the beginning stages of it, and now they're talking about this, more surges coming because it's getting colder and the flu season. I mean, I had a different perspective on what we were doing this year once we found out how we were going to have to be at home, how the babies were going to be having the opportunity to learn from school, from a virtual standpoint. I'm just like, okay, somebody need to be here with them, so I'll do it. I'm fine. I didn't want to go back to what we were doing, because of course we were still trying to operate in the wisdom and what God gave us to be safe in a way. But he had a whole, because I've been doing this since what, 2015. I've been, doing those inspirational videos and just
Yeah.
trying to keep people encouraged. And little did I know, this it gave me more time to work on this and to be here with the girls and to just have and spend more time operating in the gift. And he's really blown my mind, because I'm just like, how? So that when you talk
Yeah.
about faith, it's given me the opportunity to work for myself. Who
Amen.
in the world gets who in
That,
the world opens a business? Well, not necessarily opens a business, but goes into business for themselves, doing what they love in the midst of chaos, in the midst
that's
of
so
calamity, in
true.
the midst of uncertainty. God, he never ceases to amaze me. So when you go in with a different plan, you think, okay, this is our game plan. God has
A whole
a
nother plan.
better one, a whole nother plan that is just like mind blown. Girl, I can't tell you. I probably cried more this year than I have in my entire life,
Absolutely.
because he's really, really blown my mind. Because there's nothing my God cannot do, and I'm standing firm on that. If he's not brought us this far to leave us, even in this season, we are still here, and God is still in the blessing business. So
Oh,
I
absolutely.
just I if anybody asks me, I just say you just got to trust Jesus. So whatever question anybody comes to me with, my answer is Jesus.
Girl, I'm
That's
with
it.
you. It's funny because I just posted about that. I say we have to trust the process. I choose to live fearlessly because I saw what my faith can do. And when I realized what my faith can do, I was like, oh snap, wait a minute.
Right.
And so everything that you just said, it actually brings me back to Esther 4 and 14 when they talk about when she goes to the king. And I remember the Bible saying, for a time as this. And that is one of my
Mm,
favorite scriptures in the whole entire Bible because I look at 2020 and I do not knock what people have gone through at all.
yeah.
But for
Yeah.
me, I see the blessing God has done.
Yes.
I was like, man, Jesus, I need a break from work. I need to
Mm,
breathe a little bit. And here goes, you need to be at home. Oh, snap. Okay.
right.
God was like, this is the year of birthing season. Okay.
Mm.
I'm thinking promotion is military, all of this. And God had a whole nother plan
A whole nother plane,
that
girl.
I didn't think I was ready for. And the first time I did not question him is when he told me to stop event planning. And I just rocked in faith. And I'm
Mm,
over here doing a podcast.
right.
It's not what I was
See,
coming in 2020 doing.
see, that's it. That's the thing. Like me, of course, as a little girl, mama put me in the choir. I didn't want to sing. I was just in the choir because my mama told me I was gonna be in
That's
the
what we
choir.
had to do.
Who knows? You're right. It's just you never know where your life is gonna go. Even if, like, you know how the scripture says, you train up a child in the way they should go.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you can train up a child and they'll stray away, but they'll always remember what mama taught us. And I remember there was a time in my life where I just wanted to be like, look, mama, you made me do this, but now I'm old enough to be like, I don't want to do this no more. This ain't for me.
Girl.
Okay. Because I was tired. But let me tell you something. When I can only remember my grandmama telling me, God gives and he can take it away. And I remember I can remember when I was like, Mama, I don't want to do this no more. This is something that wanted us to do, and we've been doing it because you said you want us to do it. And I'm like, look, I can't. And I can tell you, like it was like yesterday. I can remember staying away from it for so long,
Yep.
being out on my own or that rebellious stage. I can hear my voice changing. I can hear it was a difference, and I was like, okay, God, it's starting to leave me. So I was just like, you know what? And for not before long, I was back in the church because it's in my blood. I guess I had to see it for myself. And my mom gave me that opportunity to go try to be grown. And so and it just pulled me right on back in. You might stray
Yep.
away, but you're gonna always remember. And then it runs through my veins. And now that I have a relationship for myself,
Yes.
there's no other place I'd rather be,
I,
seriously. And I ain't trying to be all cliche-ish with the song, but I kid you not, just about everything I say, I can think of a song. I
no,
can think of a
but
song
that's
to
what I
go
love
with
about you. You can drop a beat with some words, but see,
it.
that's a true gift. That is
Yeah.
a gift. Like I love that because you can I see you and like I said, I look forward to you every morning. Like I be like, what's she doing today? Because it's one of those things, like you said, people don't know what other people are going through. So I do know because I watch people who shared your post that don't know that I know you. And
Mm,
I watch when they share what they say in the whole time. Now, like I like to look. I want to see what you're
right.
saying
I
because
got
at the end of the day, you're putting yourself out there and God is shining. And that is what people are seeing. And that
you.
is what blessed my heart so much because when I see people sharing it, they be like, oh my gosh, she just blessed my soul today. And you
Mm,
see all these comments, and I'm like, yes, that's what she's doing.
yeah.
Um, and so you have people, like you said, when you read some of the comments, people truly I've always been taught by my grandmother. She used to always say, you ain't gotta rub Jesus in their face. It's all about how you
Exactly.
it is how you act. And that's something I live by. Like, yes, I am
It's how you live.
like
Yeah.
glue. But you won't, and I posted about it today, loving your enemies. And
Mm,
one of the biggest thing about loving your enemies is that one of my mentees told me, she said the hardest thing is, she said, I don't know who you don't care for because you still walk in love with them. And she said that takes a whole lot of strength. And I was like, yeah,
It does.
a whole lot of
You're
strength
right.
and growth and prayer and faith, and be like, okay, Jesus, I
Ooh,
got
child.
in this area right now who
Come
can't
on.
stand me and
And
can't
guess
see
what?
him.
And when you feel weak in a certain area, it seems like that test will never be over until you pass it. It keeps coming back for you just so that you can, like, if you praying for patience, if you praying for this and if you praying for that, it's as if God heard you and that angel took it where it needed to go, and it's gonna keep coming until, okay, then you remember what you prayed about. This is
Yeah,
that test, or this is that opportunity for you to operate or to practice in what you're praying about. So hey, girl, tell me about it. And
girl, because see,
that's
we can go,
the
we
one
can do
thing
this
that's
all
helped
day.
me.
You already know. So I do.
Yes, yeah.
So what things have, what has been one of the hardest in your mind, and maybe it's because you left work, but what was the most hardest decision you have had to make?
Well, I can't say, I guess, because stepping out on faith and sacrificing that income that was that I was just, you know, how you had some set income coming in. You could count the days and know what bills you could pay when you had a set amount of money coming in.
Yes.
It was this year, of course. It's like, I mean, I've had tests and trials with my husband and with our marriage and our children and just life in general. But this year, the first time we went through this, where I lost a job or I lost a car or I lost a house, it was different than this time around. I Because honey, I was really shaking back then. It was in the beginning of our marriage. We were just going through the ruffles. And but this time around, where I was like, okay, we were just, it was just um something that we had to let go and step out on faith and say, okay, this is what's going to happen, and I'm going to try to do this and go over here, and I have this plan. But it, when we set and depend on something, that's where my faith was really weak, because I'm just like, okay, we're gonna do this, because I do anything for my babies now. I ain't playing, I ain't worried, we're gonna make it. And I just, like I said, I had a different plan, but God had a better one. And it's even, I don't have to worry anymore, because I'm, first of all, working for myself, working when I want to work, and making sure that I am still bringing something for my family, giving something to my family. And so I'm enjoying the time that we are here together all the time. In the beginning, it was rough because it was an adjustment. It's an adjustment for everybody on every side.
Right. Right.
But I can say that that's when my faith was really tested. It was definitely was the hardest thing I felt like I had to do, but God has still provided. All those things that we say that may seem cliche.
Mm-hmm.
When it really hits you, I want you to still say it. And He has done nothing short of but just continue to provide. So I can't, I don't know whatever else coming. I know that God will continue to take care of us because He is Jehovah Jireh, because He'll keep us in peace, Jehovah Shalom. So I know uh, these tests and trials where He's shown Himself mightily in my life. I'm just like, okay, God, you proven to me over and over and over again that you won't leave us nor forsake us, that you will continue to provide. But when what they say, when the poop hits the fan, how you really gonna feel? You can say
Yes.
that on a good day, but how you really gonna feel when it's really all said and done?
I don't know with you, because
And
you
that's
get
it,
to that point,
exactly.
you be over there talking about, well, you know what, Jesus, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, I can't say that, because I definitely did that. I had stopped
Yeah.
paying tithes and offerings for a while, and I kid you not,
Yeah.
I forget. God came back and was like, I'm gonna need you to pay tithes and offering. I was like, okay, Jesus, look
Mhm.
here, we have some debt. I
Right.
got bills, and I'm trying to do A, B, C, and D. And actually, now I laugh about it, because it was December 31st, 2019. I said, okay, God, I'm paying my tithes and offering. Paying my tithes and
Mm.
offering. We're going into 2020 on a whole new level. I'm
Yeah.
trusting you. I'm gonna pay tithes and offering, and we're gonna get this in. And I kid you not, I stood in faith. I'm like, Jesus, I have these bills that needs to be paid, and in my
Right.
head, I want to retire. I retire in 2 years, so I'm like, Jesus, and I'm noticing everything started to happen with COVID. I started getting a little nervous, and God was like, I got you. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit back and not touch it. And when we
Mm.
take our hands off of things, it starts to do, God starts to work in a different way.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things, like you said, you got to have that faith, and you got to
Mhm.
trust that God got you, because I had to think about the times that I thought I was clear from being God, and God was covering me
Yeah.
like tremendously.
Yeah.
Um, I think somebody said they was talking about restaurants, and somebody said the notion, oh, you don't, you go to a restaurant, you don't know how often God is covering you because you don't know what's being done.
Right.
You should always give your blessings, and you should always say your prayer. You should always say a thank you because you do not know. When
No,
you
no.
late for when you running late for work, God just saved you from an accident that was due to happen.
Right, right. Every time I step out of my house or grab or able to grab the steering wheel, I'm praying. We praying before we leave the yard. I'm praying at all times. I'm saying, thank you, Jesus, for letting me buy another pack of tissue or buy just a little stuff.
Girl,
Y'all,
yes,
I ain't playing. I'm so serious about that thing because I still have yet to find Lysol. But anyway, that but I thank him for the other brands that I have been able to find. He's still making a way, even the little things. I don't be playing.
right.
I talk to God just like I'm talking to you right here, girl.
Absolutely,
For
girl.
real, for real.
Yes, I be having a conversation with Jesus, like, so can we? I told Jesus one day. I said, Jesus, so you gonna stop Esther right there, like for real? You stop
Right,
that? I'm like, I have questions, and I do, and I laugh. Cause people look at me sideways. I'm like, no, really, I need to know really what
for
happened
real.
after this. Like, I don't watch the movie
Right,
One Night with the King, which is one of my favorite movies, but I have questions. I want to know,
right,
Jesus.
right,
So this is where you gonna stop this at, and we don't have no
right.
discussion about it.
And
No,
because you have that relationship, he'll find a way to give you that answer. You be like, okay, God, I got
I
you.
know I'm still waiting because I had like a whole list of stuff. I ain't gonna lie, I be talking about
Right,
Hannah like Jesus. How did Hannah really handle the
right,
little wife coming at her about not having kids? Because if this
right.
had to be in 2020 conversation, she might have
Yeah.
would have got slapped. I'm just saying, Jesus. So what what was really going on with Hannah? So I had these conversations with Jesus because I really
Right,
want to know. As
right.
females, I'm like, I know we kind of, we can have our moves now. You can't tell me, Jesus, they didn't have moves back then either.
About oh yeah, I'm pretty sure they did.
Right. I don't know. But
Yeah,
that's just me being, I do. That's how I be talking to Jesus. Like
of course. That's it. I literally I'm talking to him while I'm in the shower just as well as I'm singing, whether it's giving him a praise or I'm just like, look, Lord, for real, how we gonna do this? And he'll give you an answer, even if it means that you have to wait.
That weight.
So that's the thing.
That weight.
That's the thing where we grow impatient because we have to wait sometimes. Sometimes, of course, like it says, his time is not our time. But
You
some answers they come in different little moments of the day. And sometimes you just have to wait. And you gotta be okay with that as well.
amen. So with the weight and the moving and the shaking, what is going on for KD right
Oh, right now, I'll just really singing for a lot of different virtual events
now? Okay.
and creating videos for some special occasions. And so it's been a blessing just to be a part of such beautiful events. I'm definitely trying to write and do some collaborations on working on the EP. So we definitely
Well,
have some things in place. Finally,
hey,
I just want to make sure that what if I don't feel it in my spirit, because there have been numbers of opportunities, but if I don't feel it in my spirit, I ain't finna do it. I'm just gonna tell you just like that. I could come off as nice smiling all the time, but if I don't feel it, I'm be like, no, I nicely tell you I don't feel it. And but I praise God for, like I said, the opportunities that he's afforded me. So I'm just like, look, we are definitely moving into something. So I'm just ready for whatever he has.
and I'm so here to support you. Or whatever we do, give away your EP come out, let me know. I will
Yes.
gladly support. It will be on the I Am Shatoria website. Like we will absolutely make sure.
Right. Amen. I praise God. I'm excited, nervous at the same time because it's definitely um a part of me and a part of the beginning of wherever else it goes. I don't know, but
I cannot wait
hey,
to see
I'm
where it
excited.
goes. Like I promise you're gonna go and I'm gonna be like, okay, can we get another interview with you? Just
Right.
roll out. Like let me talk
Right.
to you. And so no, I'm really definitely excited
Yeah.
about where you going, what you doing, um,
Yes.
how you flowing, man. Just it's it's excitement. It's
Yes,
so much excitement. And
I
so
praise God.
so I don't even really got to ask like about your business and what you're doing, because you just said it. You're looking at getting the EP done,
Hmm.
which I cannot wait. And so
Yes.
what is, you know last question to this is, what is your hobbies? We know you singing. What is your
Hmm.
hobbies? What you like to do on the side outside of
Girl, it's try different foods.
girl? Don't play with
Just
me.
like no, but I kid you not, I do love to try different things. I like to eat, of course, but even though I have a passion for food and eating, my mom used to always tell me when it was time to eat and dinner was ready, she said I would hum or I would sing whatever because I was excited to just get ready to eat.
Hey, I ain't
So
ready.
and so food is really like I ain't playing when it comes to food, and definitely trying something new. But one of my all time favorite things to do is just really spend time with my family. Like we have certain movie nights and stuff like that, but just doing the food thing, but with my family. We be trying to go different places, not so much now, but we'll try a few different places that we haven't tried before. We want something different, you know.
Oh, no, I'm with
But other than that, it's just really food and family, the two
you.
F's.
I laugh so hard, but I kid you not, I'm cracking up on the inside so hard, like so hard, because I dance. I'm still dancing to this day, but I dance for food. But
Yes,
I'm a big foodie. I'm a huge seafood fan. Like, oh,
yes,
seafood. I love seafood. But whenever you are in the DMV area, let me know. I will
I
make
will.
sure you hit some restaurants up, because we have
Please.
a lot of mom and pop shops here. We have a lot of restaurants. And
Yes.
people, I be telling people don't judge me, because when I do come home, or if I go anywhere that has Zaxby's, don't
Hmm.
judge me, because I don't have
Oh,
it.
please, though. Yes.
I don't got it here,
Mm.
so I want my sweet tea and I want my Zaxby's.
Oh, gotcha. I got you. So there's
I'm on the East
no
Coast, so they
Zaxby's up
don't
in
make the
DC.
sweet tea like we do.
Right.
So, but with that, so how can people, first of all, you got a lot of followers, and I'm loving the energy you give them. But how can
Yeah.
people find you?
Well, I have a website, kattiefrench.com.
Okay, okay.
And of course, definitely the other social media handles are I have a Facebook fan page. I have the people following my personal page because, of course, the friends tap out at what is it, 5,000? Yeah,
5,000. I'm
and so
glad I was so
yeah,
pretty way before now.
right.
We over here.
Let me see, and then of course there's Instagram and YouTube, and all of them are with my name. The Instagram has an underscore. It's KD_French, but everywhere else is either KD French fans, KD French. Everywhere else, YouTube, website, all of that. And so I thank God for the different avenues because a lot of people don't. There are still, even though there are a lot of people on Facebook, there's still a lot of my family members that actually just go to YouTube. They don't have a Facebook page or any other social media outlet. But hey, everybody can go to YouTube.
Oh, now that is a true statement, and we're gonna definitely make
Hmm.
sure that all of our listeners are able to go and see you on YouTube and everything. We'll definitely have that on our website.
I appreciate that. That's awesome.
Because let me tell you, like I said, I need me some KD in the morning. I be waiting for your scriptures that be in all caps. I be like,
Yeah, look,
I'm
for
telling
real.
you,
You
I
gotta,
pay
yes,
attention.
read it boldly. Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Yes.
I mean, if Facebook made it to where we can bold, I'm telling you, I think Facebook's gonna finally understand we need stuff in bold. We need some
Right.
more emojis, for likes and dislikes.
Right.
Like we
Right.
need that. So I have like my last
Right.
request to you, the one and only KD. If you don't mind leaving our listeners before we roll out with something, whatever God puts in your heart, what you got for us?
Well, it's always just to just keep your focus there because I've told many people and I even tell myself if you focus on the problem, that's what you're gonna always have, the
Mm.
problem. So I choose joy. I choose to focus on the peace that I have, and I thank God. I try to stay centered in all that I do. Yes, I have my days where I fall off, but I ask God to forgive me and I get right back on track and try it again. And, every day that He gives us is a new opportunity to give Him praise and to practice everything that we're trying to really keep doing and to becoming more of a lifestyle instead of just something that we're saying and that we're trying to do. Actually, really putting forth the effort to do it, because how great is our God? Sing with me, how great is our God? We want all to see how great is our God. And He is the name above all names. He is the one and the only one that will get us through any and everything that we go through. Anything that we're faced, He goes before us. And where He leads, I choose to follow. So I'm grateful just to have that relationship with Him and to try to stay focused during this time. During the season of uncertainty, I'm trying to stay focused on Him. Yeah.
Oh, I love you. You're just so flipping out. I love me some KD.
I
I
love you
love
too,
you.
Shatoria.
Thank you for joining us today. I am
Yes.
truly humbled to have had you today, and
So
just truly
awesome.
grateful to one, hear your voice, and just with your energetic self, which I love so much.
I
Always have,
love it.
always hit, always will. And again, like I said, I am so proud of you, the growth,
Thank
the
you.
you out here doing it. I know you said I'm trying, you're
Likewise.
doing it. You really, you're bringing Jesus out there in a way to where it is attracting even the young people.
Mm,
And so,
yeah.
I say thank you for that, because people need to see that today. Um,
Yeah.
so I absolutely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for joining me today on this
Oh, I thank you for
podcast.
having me.
Absolutely. So, and real quick, I'm gonna close out. So, I laugh because we talked about faith, and I already told you I laugh because I wrote down that list of names of people I desired to interview, and
Mm,
I kid you not, I prayed over my email, my message over Facebook. I said, "Okay, Jesus,
hmm.
send this to her and be in faith." Yes, start of a mustard seed,
Right.
be in faith. And so, like I told you earlier, when you emailed me back, it just blessed my heart. And I was like, "What?" And so
Praise God.
I know you, the way, everybody that we all grew up with, we know.
Yes.
But to be able to talk with you, see the growth, that's a blessing. So I thank you for sharing your life with the rest of us.
Yes,
We thank
ma'am.
your family for, sharing you with us. We tell them I said thank you for the interview today.
Yes. Yep, I had to look. I got to prepare them. Everything on the schedule. Yes, ma'am.
Hey, and see, that's why I'm like, let me schedule this out lonely,
Yes.
so we can get
Yes.
this done. But from the bottom of my heart, again, I truly, truly thank you. I'm truly blessed and honored to have you as a guest
Thank
today.
you.
But just not just a guest, a friend, a schoolmate, somebody that I
Yes.
know can always keep me in reality from where we from and look at where we going.
Right.
So
Oh, yeah.
I thank
God
you
is really,
for that.
truly, truly blessed.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. Likewise. And I wish you nothing but the best in this as well.
Yes. Hey, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. And we thank Katie for her time. Thank you for the faith, putting faith out there in the world, just a little more, and just a
Mhm.
little more sunshine to everybody. I want to thank you guys for joining us today on I Am Shatoria. Remember, you can check me out on IG and Facebook at I Am Shatoria, and our website, iamshatoria.com, where you can subscribe and you can receive information about KD and all the other podcasts you saw today. Please do not forget, today is November 3rd. It is voting day. If you have not got out there, get out there before polls close. Please do.
Mhm.
It is our voice, it is our right. So make sure you're getting it. Always remember, you can see I Am Shatoria for upcoming events, empowerment, encouragement, inspiration. As I've always said, I believe we need to always walk in love, live fearlessly, and always have a whole lot of faith. As always, it's never goodbye, but it is see you later. Or, well, talk to you guys later. But thank you guys for joining me today. You guys have a blessed one.